Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Didi, we
Om
can't see your
Shanti.
video.
Om
Yeah.
Shanti.
So it's okay, Anu sister, we can keep her highlighted, so it should happen. Should I start already? It's 9:09 here.
Yeah, we should start. But Asha Didi, your video is not on, so please check if you can. But yes, Manoj bhai, you can start.
Technical problem over here. Today I am at a different center.
Yeah.
I am
Sure, no worries. Yeah, that's okay, Didi. We can hear you clearly. No problem. Let the video be off. That's perfectly fine. Your audio is important for us to hear you. No problem.
Charlie Bhai, Om Shanti.
Yeah.
Hello, Asha Didi, Om Shanti. Lovely to see you or hear you.
I am happy to see you. Somehow there is some technical.
So fine. Yeah, no problem. So we'll start. No problem, Didi. If it happens, it will come the video. So we'll start the program. So welcome all of you to the Values for Life series, episode 64 on clarity. So, and today even I, like Asha Didi, I'm having a little bit of issues with the internet connectivity here. So I hope I'm clear when you're listening to my audio, at least. It's all about challenges on clarity today. So let's go further. All of you know Asha Didi and Brahma very well. Asha Didi serves the northern part of India. She's the director of the Om Shanti Retreat Center and in knowledge since many years now. And Brother Charlie similarly serves the entire Australian subcontinent, and he serves as the board of directors over there. And as always, we are getting a bit late today, so I'll directly jump onto the poem. Both of them are very beautifully knowledgeable souls. All of you know them very well. They have been a regular speaker on our Values for Life series. And also we had celebrated our second anniversary with both of them as a combo. So let me just speak about the poem. So both of them have profound wisdom, which is full of clarity. And that's because their thoughts, word, and action is full of purity. Today, they shall guide us on how to be away from disparity and how to deal with difficult situations in times of adversity. Both of them have been able to achieve the much acclaimed popularity, and that's because they have in their foundation the much needed solidarity. Through their actions, they teach us how to inculcate sincerity, be punctual, accurate, and have the touch of regularity. Leading a spiritual life needs one to follow a lot of morality and the ability to handle situations with dexterity. So let's come and explore from today's talk our true identity. I think, sorry, I cut off. Hope I'm audible now again.
Yes, you are audible.
I'm so sorry.
hear
Yeah.
from true identity, if you can
True
read.
identity. Great. Yeah. So let's come and explore from today's talk our true identity, which shall indeed fill our life with peace and serenity. And finally, then we can lead a life full of integrity, not needing to worry about the pre-existing polarity, which is all over the place. You all can see that. Okay, so I hope I was audible clearly. So now I would request Sister Claudia to please officially welcome both of our seniors. Over to you, Sister Claudia.
Om Shanti, Asha Didi and Charlie Bye. It's very nice to be again with both of you. And I just like to give today, here we are in the spring, so I like to offer Asha Didi a nice bouquet of flowers. And you can just feel like I can give it to you,
Thank you.
all colors, because we are in the spring and you are in the fall, but we are in the spring now. And also I like to offer Brother Charlie pot with some flowers, so you can plant on the over there, and you can use and so because white is so bring us so much clarity, and we are looking for to have those clarities that you and Asha Didi has, because every day so many situations, so many things to handle, and both of you handle the situations very nicely, and we need to know how to do that job. Thank you for coming, and welcome to both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Really appreciate those beautiful flowers. Thank you.
I
I think Brother Charlie, let's start. Yeah. Over to you. Thank you. Yeah.
So thank you once again, Manoj Bhai and Claudia, Sister Claudia and Sister Anu and the whole team, because it's an extraordinary team that I think interprets into this program into 7 or more languages and done so many episodes, I think 64. So it's a phenomenal effort. And today it's really a pleasure for me to be, how can I say, like in conversation with Asha Didi from ORC, but it will be a little bit of an interview. I will prompt with some questions. And Asha Didi, it's just so lovely to be with you as always. And I think I've known Asha Didi for, maybe nearly 48 years. And in all that time, I've always noticed she's an extremely calm and very quietly self-assured person. And I've always found whatever she says is very thoughtful, and there seems to be great clarity in you, Asha Didi. So maybe we can begin and you can share with us really what does clarity mean to you, because it's a multifaceted quality. We have clarity in our thinking, our purpose, our judgment, our communication. So maybe we can start, Didi, and you can share with us what clarity means to you, how you understand it.
Om Shanti. When I think of this term, I feel knowing and understanding the things as they are in their pure and original form. Knowing the things, whatever is happening or whatever is there in front of you, seeing the things as they are without.
Didi, unfortunately, it's not so clear. We're talking about clarity, but unfortunately, the sound is just audible. I mean, the sound is okay, but we can't pick up clearly what you're saying. I don't know whether it's possible to adjust a little bit.
Because of change of venue, I'm in a different center in Delhi. So I'm
Didi, that's much better now. You can continue because suddenly you're quite clear. That's perfect.
now it is okay.
Yes, it's good. It's much better. Thank you.
Okay, Chalibhai, I feel clarity. To me, clarity means seeing the things, understanding the things, knowing the things as they are, as they exist, without adding anything, any my own ideas in it, my own thoughts, or allowing my assumptions, prejudices, biases, keeping all of them aside, seeing the things as they are. So I feel clarity means this to me. And sometimes when we are asked to clarify something, so that also, when I'm trying to clarify something, keeping this in mind, that let the things be in their purest form as they are and communicate the same in the same way. Now, to have a clear vision, just as we have um, to know about, let's say, if there's anything wrong in the body, we have x-rays, sonography, MRIs, all these things, blood tests, all these things, they give a clear picture, clear vision. So to arrive at precision, to know the things precisely, these things are just as these things are necessary. Similarly, to know the things what are going on, to know, understand a situation, I feel keeping our mind so clear, so clean would be very essential. And when we look at this, it is, I think, our power of concentration, focus, our clear mind, clean mind, all these things contribute towards the assessment of the situation. They can be clear only when I am focusing on totally in the purest form.
Thank you so much, Didi. And, as you were clarifying clarity, we can see you. You've just come on our screen. So that's really wonderful. We actually can see you now. And Didi, in a way, from what I was hearing, you were saying that clarity is almost like seeing with truth. You're seeing reality. And you're removing all the sort of filters in your own thinking that distort reality. So what underpins our ability to have such clarity? What are the spiritual qualities or the necessary efforts or practices to develop such clarity that you were just describing?
The qualities that I feel, keeping our minds very pure. Our mind should be very pure. It should be very clean. As I said in the beginning, free of prejudices, free of biases. Sometimes at personal level, you like to favor someone, but when you are sitting in such a position where two parties are there, and you have to decide something, one cannot keep those prejudices if one wants to be neutral and really very honest with the situation. One cannot keep those prejudices or those leanings in the mind, those points of favoritism in mind. You have to rise above them. So I feel that sometimes it is very essential that we detach ourselves from all these things, plus and minus, positive and negative both, and be at the neutral level. And when we are at the neutral level, then we'll be able to see the pros and cons. We'll be able to see both the sides very well. So I feel it is detachment, which is very essential, and keeping the self free of influences. At times, now you see, there is something, an artist looks at from another angle, an engineer looks at from another angle. Similarly, I must keep myself away from the things are seen from different perspectives, and they will be equally clear to them, equally they will be right. I have to be little detached, free of those kinds of influences. Let the things be as they are, and let me see them as they are. And it is keeping away from all these kinds of biases, etc. Because there
Thank
is
you.
one which
Yes, please continue.
no, we don't need fact. Sometimes, if I recall Baba's Murli, Baba says sometimes vision gets blurred because of Baba gave the example of worms. In rice, there will be white kind of worm. In green vegetable, green kind of worm. And sometimes it is our own weaknesses that are inside, our own, say, negative points that are inside. They also tend to interfere. So it would be nice that I, being a powerful person, keep myself away from those influences also.
Thank you, Didi. And, you know, the way you're discussing that sort of a lot of the foundation of clarity is both detachment. So you have an objectivity, you're standing back, but you're also saying away from influences. How would you suggest to really, in a natural way, reach that point where you're away from influence, you are detached, so that in a natural way you're seeing with that clarity? You know, what is your practice to really, because I know you have a life, you're always with people, you're always dealing with so many variety of personalities. How do you keep yourself detached and uninfluenced? What is your practice? What do you do to enable yourself to keep that clarity, even though so many things happening around you?
Let me tell you, what you have said is correct. I have to face different kinds of situations, different kinds of people. Sometimes people come and speak about some people, and the person is in front of me. Now, I don't say that I'm 100% totally detached like that, but that thought is there. Then I have been told this about him or her, this is there at the back of my mind. But, Charlie Bhai, when someone comes in front of me and I have to talk to the person, I really keep those things aside. I keep them aside. I allow the person to present the self. And if there is something, then I do talk to them. If there is nothing, because otherwise, I will, whatever the person will be saying, I'll be using that influence in listening also. So it will not be proper listening. It will not give me clear picture. Sometimes what people say and what happens is totally different. So it can be due to the misunderstanding of the people, because sometimes what you see with your own eyes can also be wrong. So, so these things I do keep in mind and keep them aside, and then because that thought is there, and as I said, I'm not 100% totally detached. I do ask the person a question, and if the person says nothing, or if the person accepts, it's fine. But I do take care of that.
So, Didi, would you say that in all these dealings, when you're talking with people, that you're making this pure-hearted effort to have benevolent feelings? And would you say in dealing with people that it's important to maintain benevolent feelings for them, so that your decision-making, when they ask you your opinion about things, is like elevated decision-making? So you're trying to deal with a real situation, but you're doing it from a place of benevolence. So you're not influenced by other people's perceptions of this person, and really coming from a more elevated, benevolent sense of clarity about the situation.
This is true, Charlie Bhai. I feel that I'm an instrument of Baba, and Baba is there, and I am just taking care of his seat. It is Baba's seat and Baba's children, so they must not get hurt, because it is a family. It is a family, and nothing wrong should go from my side. If I do not understand the person properly, clearly, it is a failure for him. So the burden will be on my intellect. So I do keep in mind these things, that person should not get disturbed, but simultaneously the truthfulness, honesty, and what Baba wants, that is also maintained. And to have this kind of attitude, I do take care. It is true. I do take care that the seat I am in is not mine. It is Baba's, and from that seat, nothing untowardliness should happen. And this desires that I see the things in their right perspective, understand the things in the right perspective. I'm faced with opposition, let me tell you. Sometimes, yes, I'm faced with opposition from sisters, that in spite of this, why did I take this decision? But Baba is great, and Dadis are great, our yoga systems are great. What Baba and Dadi have taught us, we have to carry on that. And we cannot just become people of corporate kind. If you do this, this happens. If you do, no. This is ours is a family. We should allow a person to have self-respect, to protect their self-respect also. So these are a few things I do keep in mind.
Thank you so much, Didi, because I think being so open really helps us all. Because it's in a way, a great part of clarity is communication. And as you were speaking, I was thinking that when there's someone who has so much, I suppose, experience in the Brahman world, you're constantly communicating with so many people. So what do you keep in mind when you're constantly connecting on the phone or people in front of you, that people understand your intent, people really catch what you really want to say to them, that, you know, what's the clarity? How do you communicate your message so that you feel that the other party, the listener, really captures your bhavna, your intent, the feelings that you really want to convey to that person? What do you keep in mind that your message is understood clearly?
Charlie Bhai, one thing is there that the feeling of benevolence that you said earlier, this plus love for them. And it is not that I'm there like Dharam Raj to punish them. No, I'm there to help them. So when I communicate something, the message, sometimes I have to be earlier. I used to be very disciplined in communication also, sometimes very strict words, of course within limits, but I have changed. I've changed in recent years. Loveful feeling for them, the feeling that I'm there to help them. They should get the feeling, they must develop that faith in me. So I'm very straightforward in what I wish to say. I'm very straightforward. I don't go around the bush. Straight. And kya hua? Charlie bhai, are you able to hear me?
I can, Didi. You're quite clear. It's good now. Thank you.
So I'm very straightforward. And also I keep in mind their level of understanding. Like, small children. To small children, we communicate in different way. To a mature person, we communicate different. Similarly, because they are new. In our times, our old times, dadis used to communicate just straight, very straight.
Yeah.
And with deep love, deep discipline, and deep understanding of the soul in front of them, and total benevolent feelings. So we have been brought up in that way. And I really appreciate and I feel that these things are helping me even now. I tell them in very clear words what is right and what is wrong. What they should be doing, what is not correct. What is not correct, I do tell them. But then I leave it to them. It is up to you now to take care. But my part is to communicate to you what Baba wants us to do. And those things are said in the words of Baba, in the words of Dadis, they're communicated. They do understand. They do understand it. Sometimes it registers, sometimes it does not. I have found that when you start communicating with people, unless they know you properly, they know you, they do not have that understanding that they have to follow that. To give you one small example, when ORC was created, I had very, very positive and nice feeling that the team that is there with me, I should get their medical checkup so that we can keep the health record and keep it in keep the team healthy happy, a nice team. And I took full care in making the medical files of every single person. But when people do not understand, it was right in the beginning, when people are not so close to you, they do not understand you, they can say different things. And what they said was that Ashaben is doing this so that those who are not healthy, or if there is anything wrong, she can send them home. And it had really hurt me, I would say, that my such a noble feeling, such a noble intention has been misunderstood. Why it
Yeah.
has been, yeah. So this happens in communication sometimes.
It really does. I think it's an extraordinary thing, isn't it, when you have such a pure intent and yet the
Yes.
other party doesn't catch that intent. And do you think then, Asha Didi, that it's the vibrations that go with the intent? Like, you were talking earlier about, I was really interested to hear how you said you've changed a lot from, maybe you were quite disciplined, you said, or maybe a little bit strict, and you've changed. And do you think that, in what way have you changed? And was it that, in trying to communicate with that elevated intent, the feelings, the bhavna supporting that intent, usually the message is received more clearly? Or how, and maybe another part to that, if you can see that your message hasn't been, people haven't understood your intent and your bhavna, how do you try to clarify it with them if you have this highest feeling, this highest intent, and yet it's taken in the wrong way, as you described? How do you clarify that too?
What influenced me was Dadi's conversation with Dadi. When I asked Dadi Prakashmani, what is it that is good in administration? Because I had seen Dadi also very strict and disciplined. But towards the end of her life, she said to me, only love. Only love. I said, Dadi, and love and law, the balance of love and law. Dadi said, no, only love. It did not register in my head at that time. It did not, because the people are so different, and they take you for a ride if you are not very strict or disciplined or lawful with them. Sometimes they just take you for granted. Such things should not happen. So I said, Dadi, balance of love and law. Dadi again said, no, only love. So this thing had gone into my head after some time. And then I thought, let me try. I'm saying the right thing. The right thing can also be said in a gentle, softer manner. If it is gentle manner, softer, and it is more spiritual and alokik. So when I understood this, then I changed myself, mellowed down. People also say Ashaben has changed. Ashaben, why? But I tell them, look, I have changed, but it does not mean that you should take things for granted. Things should be better than before. So in communication, I feel understanding the grasping capacity of the other person, how much strength they have, how much they are able to understand you. That is also, sometimes I have found that if we are not saying the things very clearly in our communication, depending on the level of the understanding of the people, sometimes it can be totally misunderstood. So we have to understand that also. What is their capacity? So,
Thank you. I actually remember once a similar thing too. I was talking to Daddy Janki, and she said, that the same sort of thing, that we need to communicate with love with everyone. So would you say that as you have developed and grown in your spiritual path, that for communication, clarity of communication, that loving feelings are absolutely, if people feel you love them, you have respect for them, you care for them, that the sense of closeness is much clearer, and therefore the relationship, they do receive your messages with more clarity. The more you have love for them, then people accept your intent much more clearly. Would you say that love is an essential factor in clear, close communication?
Charlie Bhai, by adding love in communication, what I found that people get courage to come closer to you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they are there with you, but they have fearful attitude. But when you are soft, talking to them, communicating with them, and lovefully, they get courage to come and speak to you. It is very essential that in family, that people should be able to clearly speak about what they feel. If they are not able to speak up, then it is not, I think it is not family. It is not family. People should be close enough to talk to it. I will not say that 100% it is there with me. No. Recently, I was surprised. I thought people are there just to do their duties and they're saying to just copy. But what I found recently, when I returned from Madhuban last time, they gave me a surprise by celebrating 50 years of service. It was a surprise. And the kind of things they did, it brought tears in my eyes. And I felt that it is not that they don't love you, but there is love inside. They need and they are not able to express, or I am not able to understand them. So when this becomes equal, when you try to understand their feelings and they understand you, it creates a totally different atmosphere, totally different. You were talking about vibrations. I do feel that your vibrations also have an effect. They are also contributing in communication. And if you say things with some strict kind of vibrations, people do take it, but then they become fearful. But when you say things making them understand, like what I like in yours and Brother Ken's classes is very gentle, very soft. It gets into their head and they love these kinds of things. So I thought that it is better that we say the things with great love, and the vibrations that go should also be loveful, because the vibrations also affect a lot. Didi was saying this, but she didn't mean it. It can be misunderstood this way. So the vibrations are also essential. I remember once I spoke to Dadi Chan about one instance, and I said, Dadi, well, you are saying to me to do this, I will do it, but it will not be from my heart. Dadi said to me, Asha, it will never reach the person. And You may be soft in speaking, but if the vibrations are not coming from inside, it will never reach the person and the person will never transform. Or if you have some different kind of thing, then those vibrations will also reach the person and things will not become okay, they will remain as they are. So vibrations, Dadi Janki used to give a lot of importance to it and you keep attention.
Wonderful, thank you. Didi, what would you say, what makes people feel safe with us? You know, so that they feel safe, they feel they can genuinely be open and share their heart. What is a quality, what do we need that others feel genuinely comfortable and safe to communicate clearly what's in their heart?
I think there should be transparency,
Yeah.
honesty, feeling of benevolence, love, and straightforwardness. Straightforwardness. I am very much for straightforwardness.
Yeah.
But if the things are said in a straight manner, they are accepted. People do understand that she's not doing this, but at least she was straightforward. So, when people feel that there is truth, honesty, transparency, then people do accept what you wish to say. They do accept.
Then how do you deal with if someone comes to you and they're not speaking clearly, it's unclear, it's ambiguous, you really can't grab what they're really trying to say? How do you deal with that situation? Do you ask them more questions to clarify their thinking? Or how do you try to get some clarity in the intent of the person if they're not really speaking in a straightforward way, like you were just saying? They're going around the houses, going around, beating around the bush, as they sometimes say. How do you try to resolve that situation, find clarity in that situation?
There are two things in what you said. One is making a person say the things in a clear manner. And for this, I do ask questions. I do ask them to clarify more. And second thing is if people are ambiguous or they are not, half truth is being said to me and I know what the things are, then once I say, are you sure what you are saying is correct? So sometimes they say yes. Then it is not right. Then sometimes I do tell them about the instances that I know and make them. So, but I also take care that they don't feel bad because this thing has been caught or this thing has been seen. So as if self-respect is maintained, I take care. And the second thing is to know the things what people want. I feel it is better if I am not able to understand. It is better to ask them again to clarify what they wish to say instead of drawing conclusions. Instead of inferring something, better to ask them again and again what they really wish to know. Sometimes people are not able to express. They're not able to express. Sometimes they go around, sometimes they are not able to express. So when people go around, then I do not waste my time. I immediately come to the point. And when they are not able to express, then I ask them different questions so that they are able to.
Thank you. And Didi, we're getting closer to our finish. Maybe there's a few more questions before we take questions from Manoj Bhai will facilitate. But for you personally, when you're dealing with the world we're living in at the moment, it's a very fast world. It's a world with so many opinions, so many situations. For you to find real clarity and objectivity, what do you do? Do you just really feel close to Baba? Is it that the closer you feel to Baba, you feel that natural sort of detachment and objectivity to have a sort of a helicopter view of a situation so that you have a clarity of what is going on? What's your personal practice when you're hearing different views, different opinions? There's so many situations. How do you find that internal clarity as to how to make a decision or how to resolve a situation? What's your practice, your personal practice?
It is to have the feeling of trust issue. I'm just a trustee, and I should be honest and clear in what I am doing and what I wish to do. And keeping the Yajna in mind, Baba in mind. Then I also sometimes talk to Baba if there is some situation where I'm not able to understand properly. There are situations with both the sides equally strong. At least one is not correct. So talk to Baba. And I also take the help of my other sisters, other colleagues. I take the help of them. That this single thing is not very clear to me. All of you can, 3 or 4 of us, we sit together, talk, so that my personal, say, idiosyncrasies and all these things do not interfere in seeing the situation in the right way. So the perspective comes from different angles also. This is second thing. And another thing that I do is I like to take direction from Baba's Murlis, Awaken Bap Dada. Bap Dada, various situations Baba has beautifully sometimes said certain things, like the one that I mentioned today in the morning, just now, about the worms, the color of worms that get mixed up in the grains, the color, same color. So our own weaknesses can sometimes mix up with our own thinking. So we have to keep ourselves away from it. So taking the help from Baba's Murlis also. Of course, Charlie Bhai, meditation is one thing, yoga is one thing, silence. I give importance to silence also. Sometimes you are absorbed in the job and maybe you are tired in the mind, or maybe a lot of confusing things have been happening all the while, and you're not, and then something suddenly comes up for, let's say, where clarity is needed or clear vision is needed. So at that time, I like to withdraw for a while. And what I have found is, even for 5 minutes, I just go around and come back. Some thought will occur, which will be a solution to the problem. So I'm grateful to Baba, thankful to Baba that he strikes sometimes things that we are forgetting, sometimes things that we have not asked, sometimes things we have not seen. Those things also, Baba just touches the mind and we are able to sort of meditate. No doubt our thinking becomes better. And I appreciate what Dadi Janki said. Don't think. Don't think. And I agree. Too much of thinking is not good. Earlier, I used to say thinking is good. Thinking should be there. And if we recall our student days, Lokik students, our teachers used to say, you must have thinking, good thinking. So, but here Daddy says no thinking. And then our future form, the deity form, deities don't think too much. They think only what they have to do. So, minimizing on our number of thoughts. Number of thoughts should be minimized. So this happens when we have concentration, especially meditation, where we have concentration on one particular thing. And that concentration focus, it also helps.
That's so clarifying. Thank you. And just lastly, Didi, it was really lovely how you said silence brings clarity. And in a way, what I was hearing is the more we overthink, maybe we can confuse ourselves. Too much analysis, too much processing. So that silence power, that one of the children perhaps of that really deep and silence is clarity. It's an automatic byproduct. Just lastly, before we have questions from those listening, Didi, what helps you in an incredibly busy life? You're totally busy from the early morning till night. How do you find those moments of silence internally that bring back that sort of clarity and objectivity about everything happening around you?
We have traffic control of thoughts. We have traffic control. 1 minute of silence every hour. And apart from that, when there is little time in between the two meetings, then I have started sitting in deep silence. Whenever time, and even if it is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I like to get into deep silence. So it is not, say, habit. I'm developing it. I'm trying to, but of course, traffic control and 1 moment of silence or going around. Just when sometimes it so happens that you're going to the class. And you're going to the class and something appears in your mind. Something good appears in your mind. So, because Charlie Bhai, we have nothing else, totally absorbed in Baba's world, Baba's service, and everything is moving around Baba. So Baba takes care also. He helps. We never have such kinds of ideas, but it is Baba that puts them. We should keep our minds open, where Baba can work through our intellect. Baba can work through our mind. Baba can work through our vibrations. Yes.
Thank you so much, Didi. I think that, as you were sharing today, that just when you're so open and frank, I really hope it clarifies. I think it clarifies a lot for all of us, that when people of your wisdom and experience are so open, I think that brings a lot of clarity how to manage life in this world. It's a very challenging world. So really a lot of appreciation for your thoughts. And I'm going to turn over to Manoj Bhai, and maybe he has a few questions as well.
So thank you so much, both of you. I hope I'm clear and audible at the end of the clarity talk. Right. So
you're audible. You're fine, actually, Manoj Bhai. Thank you.
So now I'll give Asha Didi a break, and I will switch gears and start asking a few questions to start with Brother Charlie. But before I do that, I would like to immensely thank Asha Didi. I think this one question really struck me, which you asked Didi, that how do people feel safe with Asha Didi? Now, I must say I feel safe with both of you very much because of those 5 qualities which you all exude. I must say that I have to repeat that, which Didi said: transparency, benevolence. You covered the talk for us on benevolence, you remember, Brother Charlie? Love, honesty, and straightforwardness. I have seen a lot of straightforwardness in both of you, having interacted with you over the last 2 years, and also being at ORC all the time. I really feel that in Asha Didi. She's very straightforward and transparent, and that's a beautiful value to develop clarity. So my first question would be, a doctor again is asking, I'll just tell you, because you covered 2 emotions which affect your clarity. I think all of us know very well, maybe Brother Charlie can answer this first, that clarity is a decision-making faculty coming from the intellect. So if I'm very clear in my intellect, I can make a good decision. So there are 2 things or 2 emotions which affect the clarity directly because they interrupt with your intellect. One is fear, and second is anger. So I think fear, Asha Didi covered a lot. So anger, let me give you an example, because the doctor is asking, she's an anesthetist, and she's saying that I have started doing Raj Yoga meditation recently, and she works with a surgeon who is one of the best in the city, but he is very angry. He is known to just throw the instruments in the air if he doesn't get it on time, but yet at the same time, he can take effective decisions and do excellent surgeries. So how do we explain that he's angry at the same time, but he's able to do fantastic surgery, take proper decisions at that point of time? So at the same point of time, he's angry, but yet clear about how to decide what to do. So can you explain this? She's asking.
You know, perhaps he is performing well at that time as a surgeon. But to be frank, I feel he's losing the love of the hearts of those he's working with, because none of them are going to feel very safe. When someone's angry, we don't feel safe with them. So perhaps as a surgeon, he's doing well at that time. And I feel he gets angry because there's a lot of stress on him to perform. But I feel in the long term, all those who are working with him in the surgery perhaps lose their deep regard for him as a person. They may have regard for him as the surgeon. And I really loved what Asha Didi was saying, because I feel that it's a gift in life when people feel safe with you. And I feel it's our attitude that makes people feel safe. If our attitude is a bit judgmental, a bit critical, I hold memories of that person in my attitude, then that vibration means they can be a little bit formal or a little bit wary, or maybe they're not completely transparent and honest. But if someone sits in front of me and is very open with their heart, I think that's a blessing in a way, because it's my attitude of love, respect, and in a sense, holding the value of that person that enables them to relax and be really open. And I feel it's more, what is important for me is to really see them as a soul, have those benevolent feelings, have those non-judgmental feelings, and then people can relax and they can be really open. So yes, it's interesting what the doctor was saying about the surgeon, but I am sort of separating him as doing his work. She respects that he can do his work, and yet he's doing his work under the influence of his anger, and that's a negative thing. And I feel that even though his work is successful, his relationships with people are not being so successful. So to me, the relationships are more important. Relationships, you know, leave a memorial in the heart. If you treat people with love and respect and gentleness, you leave an image in their heart. But if you're angry and negative, then you don't win those blessings from the heart of others. So yeah, I feel anger never works, never is it successful in life. Maybe short-term outcomes, but not long-term outcomes.
Wonderful. So let me just continue this. And there's a beautiful question coming from Dr. Mehta. I'll take it. In continuation of what we discussed just now, can I be strict and clear and gentle at the same time?
It is possible. Yes, I think for me, 80 to 90% of the impact of a communication is not what you say, it's your feelings. So if your feelings are loving, your feelings are giving respect, your feelings are caring, then that's the main message that people receive, so that you can also be clear and sometimes firm at the same time. Because, you know, sometimes we have to communicate sensitive things to people. And when I do that, I'm always feel the most important thing is my feelings, my bhavna, that my intent is for a positive outcome. So when the feelings are really loving and caring, then I think people take what you're trying to say well 95% of the time. Maybe some won't, but it's really the bhavna which really underpins good, clear communication.
Fine. So I think, thank you, Dr. Mehta, for putting this question, and I'll take it as you have put it, because you have sent it to everyone, so everyone can see it. And I'll request first Brother Charlie to answer, and then second, followed by that, Asha Didi can also give her inputs. So Dr. Mehta is saying that some seniors in some whichever organization we belong to, in the Lokik or alokik world, wherever, they violate the truth repeatedly and get away with that lies, whatever, if they are speaking, because it is felt that they are in a very senior position and no one can touch these brothers or sisters. I mean, we can't go against them. They have a really influential role in the organization. Even in the Lokik world, it could be like that. And then finally, in the spiritual terms, we all call it drama. We put that full stop, whatever we learn here, and say drama, and put the things under the carpet. So what are your thoughts on this, both of you? Because both of you are also in very senior positions, including Dr. Mehta as well. So it's a question from seniors.
Yes, it's a it's a really interesting scenario. I know for me, I would much prefer to know honestly from people what they really feel, because you know, I think we live in a deceptive world. If because I have a position and people come in front of me and just because of my position and not who I am, that people show that regard, they show respect, but in their heart, they don't really carry those feelings. I feel that's sort of like a life of self-deception in a way. And I would much prefer that people are much more open with me, because you know, in one sense, we play a role in life, but what's more important is really my self-awareness and my self-consciousness, in that sort of sense, that a role is secondary to who I am. So I would really much prefer people are much more open with me, and not just talking to the position, but talking to me as a person. And I think a lot of that is me. If I have a sense of perhaps humility, and then people will feel I'm just a brother and they will be open with me. And unfortunately in this world, I think hierarchy, we have to have them for organization. But when people base their sense of self on their position rather than who they are as a person, then I think a lot of misunderstandings and miscommunications can really happen in life, and it really does happen. So I, personally, I would much prefer people talk to me as a person rather than talk to me as a position. And I feel I should talk to others as a person and not from a place of just position and role consciousness, because I think then a lot of truth is forgotten and lost in such communications. But I'd love to hear what Ashadidi has to say about that too.
Yeah, so Asha Didi, if you can share your thoughts on this question, over to you. Yeah, Didi.
Can Ashadidi hear us? Ashadidi, can you hear?
Yes, I think you are speaking. Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. What I feel is what Brother Charlie has said, right? Sometimes it can be misunderstanding. Sometimes maybe that I have not understood the thing in the way that our seniors have said, because I feel seniors are powerful people. They don't have to speak lies. Maybe somewhere I'm not able to understand them. I'm not able to see the things in the way they are presenting. So one can have heart-to-heart conversation, I would say, sit with them, talk to them, clarify the things. And it is not that because all of us are working in the same direction. So our seniors can always tell the sisters, they can give directions also, but the things have to be understood in the right perspective, in the without there being any prejudices, as I have been saying, in our minds. With clean, clear, honest mind, let us sit down and talk about it and finish it. And then if still it does not happen, then it is drama.
Right. Thank you so much, Didi. And on this drama, there are quite a few questions. I'll just take it in the interest of time. So one of the brothers is asking that people nowadays are very smart and they hijack the total time available if you keep listening to them. Because at BKs, it is taught that listening is a very important spiritual healing tool. So how to handle such people and such situations? Because time is essential and they're really wasting my time. That's the question. So maybe Brother Charlie can.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Charlie.
Well, sometimes I like this idea of reflective listening. So rather than people talking and talking, I ask a question to sort of clarify and bring their thinking to a conclusion. So it's still listening to them, but I'm trying to help them, because some people are not clear in their mind and they just talk and talk and they're sort of processing as they're talking. So if we ask pointed questions, is this what you mean? Is this what you're telling me? Is this the issue? You're sort of helping them come to a conclusion so that you're helping them understand what they're actually trying to say to us. So, in this world where time is just so important, if someone is not clear in their mind, they just keep talking and talking, we can help them bring them to a conclusion, but respectfully. I just feel in everything, respect is such a powerful thing, so that people, even if you're interrupting to try to help them by asking questions, that they feel validated and respected. To me, this is at the heart of good, clear communication. Didi?
Okay, Charlie Bhai is fine.
Sure. So I will just quickly take this last question directly for you, Asha Didi, because you mentioned this in the talk, that when it's closely related to the question which we just covered, that someone is not able to express properly and beating around the bush. So can we just say that he's playing his role as per the drama? And can this awareness of drama help us to deal with this situation? I'm sure the brother has already answered, but Asha Didi can speak more for this.
Manoj bhai, here, if the person is beating around the bush, we can ask him to come to the point. What he wants to say, come to the point. And it is not that we are there just to waste our time while away. No, come to the point and talk about what you wish to say. And if still that does not happen, I think it is better to leave that person. I have one experience in from overseas. There was one brother who was very ferocious kind of a person, and he threw a little glass of tea, hot tea, on a person sitting next to him, just out of fun. Out of fun. Things came to this complaint came to us. I asked, we called that person. He said, no, I did not. And he was so ferocious. All the brothers said, no, he did not do anything at all. When he didn't do anything at all, why should we question him? So we sent him back. Fine. After 3 days, I'm sitting in my office. He comes and says, sister, the other day you left me, but actually I had done that. So sometimes, because we are spiritual beings, so there is some realization. Realization is there, and the person will automatically come up sometimes. So we give that margin also.
Right. So thank you so much. So I'm sure all of you have got beautiful insights that we should be straightforward in putting forth our point, be transparent, honest, yet loving, and also have respect for people if they are not being clear. But then we really need to also value our time, but do that in a very respectful manner and have beautiful feelings of benevolence towards that soul. So it was a wonderful talk. We would just want to go on and on with both of you, but time is also important. So now I would request Dr. Ashok Mehta to please propose. Over to you, Dr. Mehta.
Om Shanti, Charlie Bhai and Asha Ben, we've enjoyed your talk immensely. I think the clarity was really clear. I think you brought clarity at the point of a clarity. But the most important thing I liked was that about the detachment. I think that's the point which I think appeals to me. Again, I think love, there's nothing to beat the love. If you have love inside your heart, I think there are no problems that cannot be solved. However, there are situations when things don't go the right way. And I think that's the question is that do we call it a drama and end with it? I think this is where straightforwardness is also required. And therefore, not only clarity, but in the clarity, there must be little straightforwardness rather than beating around the bush. Thank you very much. Anyway, we've really enjoyed the frank views that expressed by Asha Ben as well as you. Both of you are in very important positions and in Yagya. And not only that, but I think you have been there too long to understand the intricacies. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta, and thank you both of you immensely for your talk. I would request now Sister Anu to go ahead with the three things. Hope you remember in sequence: the photograph, and the meditation. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Manoj brother. And yes, immense thanks to Brother Charlie and Asha Didi. I think it was a fortune to see how you discussed. It was a conversation and bringing that deep inside for all of us. I'll quickly now just take a minute to announce the upcoming programs. And as we always do, the experiential workshop on clarity will be after 1 week. That's 6th of May, Saturday. Same our regular time, 7 a.m. West Coast time, that's 7:30 p.m. India time. First hour will be experiential exercises to more closely look into clarity. And as we heard that in the communication, having that pure feelings and keeping the clarity. So we'll have some exercises. And in the second hour, we'll have Sister Olga from Ukraine. With the time that we are seeing what's happening in Ukraine, I'm sure she'll bring some deep insights. So please join us, mark the date. And next session on Values for Life series is episode 65 on zeal and enthusiasm. And for that, we'll have two beautiful souls, as you can see, from the East Coast of USA and Canada. So BK Dr. Kala from Peace Village Retreat Center, New York, USA, and Sister Judy Johnson from Brahma Kumaris, Halifax, Canada. So both are very senior with experiences. So they will take us through this. I'm sure after clarity comes the zeal and enthusiasm. That's Umang and Utsaah in Hindi. So it's happening after 2 weeks, 13th of May, Saturday, regular time. That's 7:30 a.m. West Coast and 8 p.m. India time. So mark your calendar and you can check our website. That's vyasa.in and vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca for information about all the programs, and check our YouTube channels for all the videos, including all the languages as well. You can find it there. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, as Brother Manoj said, we always take a picture. So that's our Zoom is a blessing, but we also want to keep the moment with our seniors for us forever. So everybody, you can open your video. Want to be in the picture with Asha Didi and Brother Charlie. Just yeah, so I got it. A lot of people are opening later, and we are happy always, Brother Charlie, whenever you come. Our time changes and we have our Asian family with us. So from China, Hong Kong, and we have the Mandarin translation today. So we want to thank all the translators and recorders. Thank you, everyone. And over to you, Manoj brother. I think Charlie Bhai, you will take us through a meditation now.
So first of all, I'd really just like to thank Asha Didi. So lovely to be with you, and thank you again, Dr. Ashok. Always lovely to see you and hear your thoughts, and the whole team. Amazing how you put this on. So heartfelt thanks to Manoj, Bhai, Claudia, Anu, and everyone. So let's just finish with a few moments and I will offer a few thoughts. Let me go straight to Baba. Let the subtle thread of my intellect touch the one who is eternally uninfluenced, eternally completely detached, but totally loving. The one who is ever pure and remains the embodiment of truth. And because of Baba's detachment and holding eternal truth, he has absolute clarity. The more I become bodiless like Baba, detached from my body, the part I'm playing in the drama, I also begin to feel myself with a clarity that sees reality, that sees things as they are. The more I forget who I am and I forget Baba, I look through the spectacles of body consciousness that distorts reality. I think I see clearly, but my thinking is polluted. So let me become the tiny point I am, and remember Baba, the supreme point. And as I lay the foundation of self-awareness and love for one, I develop a natural clarity. I see life as it is. This is really such a great gift from Baba, to begin to see things as he does. A constant clarity of who I am, who I belong to, and what is going on. Om Shanti.
So once again, thank you so much, Brother Charlie, for the insightful meditation, and again, immensely thankful to Asha Didi. Despite being in challenging internet connections, you were there with us for the entire session. Thank you, both of you, immensely.
Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Thanks, Manoj Bhai, Ashok Bhai. Thank you, Didi. Thanks, everyone.